Hello everyone and welcome back. It has been a short break, I did promise so, and we're coming back strong into day 3 with Metal Gear Solid 2, of course, for the 20th anniversary of the game. And right now we're going to bring you a 4-way race with 4 runners, all competing in the very easy PC version, commentated by MacMD and Apache Smash, and I say, take it over guys.
Thank you very much, hostess. I am Mac McD. I have been running this particular category of this particular game for longer than I'd like to admit. I'm joined here with the illustrious Apache Smash. How's it going today, Apache?
It's going really well. I've been running this game for longer than I'd like to admit.
Seems like we're perfect for commentating this race among, well, at least 3 fairly new runners. I think JMC's been running it for quite a bit of time as well.
I think if you look at the length of time he's been running it, like the date he started, it's not actually that long ago, but the amount that he runs it kind of makes up for it. The JMC, Theory, Mockingjay, big grinders of the game, Solid SOCOM, normally a normal player, but has been shown the dark path of very easy that all MGS2 runners must walk.
And we all get locked into at some point for one reason or another. The grind. We love the optimization. So,
yeah, absolutely. I think
with that,
cool.
We are going.
I think it's cool that there's such a competitive spirit in this category. And this game has probably had more races than any other title in the series. Think about just how many races kick off for this game on the channel, in the relay, and just like kicking off in Discord all the time as well.
Yeah, just for fun. Like, it doesn't need to be an event. There doesn't need to be any reason outside of, hey, it's Saturday evenings. Anybody want to throw down on Metal Gear Solid 2 very easy? I guess it's just a great category for it. You don't have a lot of RNG. There's not when a mistake happens, it's not. Speaking of which, Mockingjay got kicked there on her way into the tanker, but it's an optimal category for doing a race for fun.
Yeah, absolutely, and very enjoyable to play, and that's probably why we played it for so long too.
For sure.
Coming up to the first boss, which is Olga, there are 2 patterns of RNG, and I was thinking yesterday there used to be like 2 Olga fights, and now there's like 87 different ways to do that fight. I don't know how that happened. But we back in my day, there was just two fights, left and right.
Yeah, same here. I found 2 other ways to fight her, neither of which I'd recommend, but you can just struggle if you like. So, okay, so we got JMC. Looks like he's in there first.
All right sides, right? Yeah, like all right sides. All right, 4 right sides.
This is interesting.
We've shared everything.
So, with the right side, she'll always go into that unskippable cutscene, and afterwards you want to score 2 headshots. So 2 body shots, 2 headshots will finish the fight. And you're hoping after the 3rd shot that she runs forward. She does for Katie, so she's made up some time there. Need to stop calling her by her real name. We're coming out of Olga pretty much all at the same time here.
Yeah, this is as for all intents and purposes, they might as well be tied. We got a lot of run left and a lot of things that could go right or wrong for every one of these runners.
Yeah, there's some big seed changes throughout. Oh, nice death drop. Animation cancel. I'd love to see that. The seed changes in Tanker are, Olga, the engine room, another room where there used to be 1 way to do it, and now there's like 87.
Yes.
And everyone does little variants as well. Simply too many to go through, but what you'll see is once they hit that engine room, they'll make a choice of whether they're going to force a caution to skip a cutscene, or if they're going to just run and tank the mini cutscene. Solid SOCOM had a little bit of trouble, but then he bumped the assault team guard, which I love to see. It's very difficult to time that, where you bump the guard with a shield, but you can do it as he showed.
This is trickier to keep track of than I expected it to be. Trying to see who's exactly in the lead. It looks like it might be Theory is just barely ahead of JMC. According to the feed, of course, there's always a little bit of a delay on the intros, but and of course we'll go to IGT at the end to really define a winner, but Theory and JMC are almost neck and neck here.
That's the absolute benefit of this game running the PC version, is that loads aren't counted. towards the in-game timer. So we always check the IGT at the end, and that will tell us clearly who won. Watch Theory when he gets the sensor. I think he's got one of the fastest sensors out of everyone who runs this game.
I might have to study that for myself, in fact.
The risk with having a fast sensor is you risk shooting the Semtex. So it's not one of the compared to other continues in the game, it's not one of the worst because you don't get spawned all the way back at the start of the engine room. You just go in that little room that you walk down to get to the sensor.
SOCOM having a little bit of trouble with getting to the sensor room, but makes it out without any serious issues.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of minor mistakes from everyone in this early game.
Nothing either of us has ever made before, I'm sure.
No, absolutely not. When I play this game, I don't make any errors.
No. So Theory on his way to Guard Rush. And Guard Rush, there are how many guards? 7 total?
Yeah, 4 then 3. The notorious D Cheetos guard that hides behind the box is kind of like you want to get him as soon as possible. The rest will just fall into place. Optimizations in this fight have led to like people trying to get kills in third person as much as possible, as you generally get the faster guard deaths. We're talking about a very small amount of seconds here. Very nice guard rushes from both JMC
Indeed.
and Theory.
Mockingjay very close behind, and Solo SOCOM just making it to start his fight. JMC with his... Oh. I don't understand the ladder glitches anymore. You guys are all way ahead of me. I'm still doing 1974 strat, so I don't even know what I just saw.
Did you see the shot by JMC on the projector guard? He didn't do a flick shot. He like straightened out with the projector guard and then moved.
Wow.
And Mockingjay's taking it safe with not opting for ladder glitch. We saw her have some difficulty in the races yesterday with that. So you lose about 11 seconds for the ladder glitch if you don't do it. But getting out of hold 1 with no continue is a good feeling. Solid SOCOM will take continue, and Mockingjay will as well because she bumps the guard. It's so much safer to roll into that guard than
and
to
I still trank. I still hold up and trank, even though I know it's more dangerous just because the muscle memory takes over every time I get there. But that was a clear demonstration of why you want to roll through that guard.
Yeah, I've never liked that because you can't just put him to sleep. You have to hold him up, then put him to sleep, and it all happens as one action. But even if you do that, if you bump him too soon, that can cause you an issue. That's the SOCOM for Mockingjay. Hopefully she notices.
Oh no.
She needs to let go of R1 so she can open a menu.
Right.
Oh, what she did was she held in the left thumbstick so the gun wouldn't fire.
Xbox strats.
Yeah. Yeah, or just go around that guard as well. That works too.
Yep.
But yeah, I've always felt more comfortable with just rolling into him.
So JMC and Theory both moving on to everybody's favorite character in a Metal Gear Solid game, Raiden, in the plant section. Unironically, I actually love Raiden as a character, even when I was surprised that you were no longer playing a Solid Snake the first time I played it as a young lad. I had no issues with it. I thought it was a great surprise.
I only found out years later that people were bothered by that. Like,
Me
I had
too.
no idea. I genuinely had no idea, and yeah, I've always liked Raiden. I think Solid SOCOM may have missed a photo. Yeah, it looks like I saw Colonel Glukovich's face there. You never want to see Glukovich's, what does he say? No Marine barber touched that head of hair. You don't want to see his do.
Missing a photo is one of my biggest fears in Tanker because I never pay enough attention to know which one it was that I missed.
Exactly, because we skip the photos, we don't generally know which one we've missed. But it normally comes from, like, if you fail 2 spot, you'll have an issue.
Yeah. He picked it up pretty quick, though. It was just that last photo, so he's still in this, really. There's still plenty of potential time loss for any of these runners. Like, I don't care how good you are at running this game, Harrier can go sideways on you. And I can react in a serious catch-up for anybody else who happens to be behind.
Yeah, there's quite a few places in this game that will catch you out. You do get a nice break at the start of the tanker, you just kind of going through the motions, skipping the cutscenes, and and the codex, which will come thick and fast.
Yeah. Well, after the stress that is the holds, the tanker, it's nice to have that little bit of a breather. when
I
you come into
absolutely
a new
agree.
game plant. Looks like Theory is first onto a connecting bridge.
One thing that's worth saying for JMC is he's had some controller issues. He normally plays on a DualShock 1, and his DualShock 1 became damaged yesterday before the tanker event and so on. So he's had to switch from an Xbox controller. Anyone who plays this game on PC will know that if you swap controller type, everything feels different at first.
100%. Yeah.
The game is just so precise.
And after enough grinding, it really is 99% muscle memory. So when even just the angle of your stick feels different than it was before, that can throw you off quite a bit. Especially in a game with movement as optimized as it is.
Yeah, and there's very little RNG overall in this run. It's one of the things I think most of us who run it like about it, and that's why we enjoy running this game so much. It's all determined, and it's about how well you play.
Yep. With the exception of Ames. Thanks, Ames.
Yeah, of course. Aim's location, Olga spawns, the speed at which guards come out in Tengu 2, I guess. I think that's it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. JMC meeting up with Stillman at the same time as Theory. Mockingjay is just now reaching AB connecting bridge, and Solid SOCOM is close behind her.
Yeah, based on the PBs, we'll see kind of two races happen within this four-way race. JMC and Theory are low 103 players. Mockingjay's 106, Solid SOCOM 110. So we'll be seeing like two-way races.
We're also seeing two different bomb disposal routes right now between Theory and JMC. Theory going counterclockwise, JMC going clockwise, which is the route that I'm familiar with. Are you familiar with the counterclockwise route?
Yeah, I think if he's going counterclockwise, he must be doing the conveyor belt strategy.
Is that common on Very Easy these days, doing the conveyor belt strategy?
It's becoming more popular, yeah. It's very minutely faster, but the execution is much harder. So you're talking like, I think 8 to 10 seconds faster, but your execution is much more difficult. JMC having some trouble getting kicked by the strut D guard. That just means you mistime your approach or miss the shot at him. I'm going to be keeping a close eye on Fury because he must be doing
Conveyor belt.
Yeah, I'd have to assume so. I think clockwise bombs is faster than anti-clockwise. I can't remember the exact reason, but that did change before I started running this game, basically. And counterclockwise comes from the days where we just used to rip off European extreme difficulty for the route, right?
Right.
With
it's fascinating to watch the new strats because I haven't really been keeping up on them. Even as I ran the game and people were discovering new things, I kind of just stuck in my ways and did what I did because it was more comfortable. So this is actually legitimately entertaining to me.
Yeah, consistency is really powerful in a race versus modern strats where someone's prone to making mistakes due to unfamiliarity. It's not always a case of, oh, just learn this and then you're better at the game. If you're really consistent with what you already know, that can be more powerful in a one-shot thing like this.
Absolutely. Mockingjay with the very dangerous looking grab as she dropped down to the lower section there. It's surprising how much of it's both a tight window to grab that ledge and very forgiving. Like Raiden was halfway in the water, but he still managed to grab that ledge somehow magically. Such a small thing, but it can be scary.
We will see, by the way, when Theory gets to strut E, he will glitch onto the conveyor belt and use the boxes to teleport around the struts to defuse the bombs. Overall, it skips 2 bridges, so it's faster because of the two less bridges that you have to walk down in the route. He'll be the only one going for this in this race, I'm pretty sure.
It looks like it, yeah. It's a fairly advanced route and strat, so that makes sense.
It's the future, and it's the future on all difficulties as well. It's faster on all difficulties, but obviously as you go up the difficulties, the execution becomes more difficult, and you know you're more prone to errors. So we won't really see exactly where everyone is. Because this bomb disposal section is a little bit more freeform, you can like do them in many different orders. We won't really know where everyone's at until they hit the strut A roof.
Right, leading down to the second. It's technically last bomb, but not quite, because Batman likes to call you in a little bit later.
Yeah, it's the last bomb, but then you get 5 more
Yeah, exactly.
DLC bombs.
So Theory's gonna do that that glitch as he comes back down these stairs and goes into Strut F. Is that correct?
Yeah, so the conveyor belt in this game, you can use boxes to go to different struts, much like the truck from Metal Gear Solid 1. It would normally not be very fast because you have to get on the conveyor belt at the start and ride it all the way around. It's a little cutscene that plays. It takes ages. But a long time ago, a glitch was found where you can essentially climb up. You're about to see Theory do it now. What he'll do is aim his gun, and then he'll climb up onto the conveyor belt and then just walk inside it with the box. And that's what makes this route work.
That is so wild.
Yeah, this is cool. Like that's part of why the execution's higher. You can soft lock the game, or not soft lock because you can kill yourself to get out of it, but you can end up stuck in a part where you fall down another side of the conveyor belt and you can't climb out of it because you're not supposed to be able to climb up it in the first place. That's why you see them immediately equip the box as soon as they climb up, because you can't actually fall down if you're in the box.
Wild. The evolution of this run.
Yeah, all us like boomers are not willing to learn that. We can't just learn a new route. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. So
No.
that's for the younger players. Mockingjay defusing the strut A bomb from the other side. The position for that is very precise. If you stood too far away, too close, like it won't work. There's like one spot that you have to be stood on to be able to do that.
I remember how like particular and how much time people used to spend just trying to line up for that, and now it just seems like everybody in almost all skill levels just crawl, get up, and they're right where they need to be. It's pretty amazing to see.
Yeah, things that used to be considered ridiculously hard are very much standard practice in the run. Although one advent that I do really appreciate is the 2+5 Harrier, because 5+1 like is so ridiculous to learn for a new player, and it's so much time saved. So it's nice that we have these alternate strategies that may be 1 or 2 seconds slower, but they're much easier to learn.
Right. See, SOCOM right now demonstrating how particular the spot is in order to actually activate that bomb.
Yeah,
and
you've got to
all
be
you have
fully.
is an audio cue, a very quiet audio cue.
Yeah, it's so difficult to hear the bomb diffusing because you're actually no way near it, and the sound is based on how close you are to it.
Yeah.
But another glitch that Solid SOCOM was showing that you don't really see that often in runs is if you change weapons while prone, if you swap between like a SOCOM and an M9, you actually crawl much faster. But we don't do that because you can coolant rise, and coolant rise allows you to stand up with no frames of waiting.
Yes.
But it is cool to see other glitches in the game that aren't normally shown. I believe that glitch is used in things like dog tags to do certain threats.
They're coming up onto the last main game bomb before the DLC bombs. And then I think it's safe to say the worst boss fight of the game.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it a fight necessarily, but...
Wait, I read on Twitter that it's Solidus
Oh, yeah, well...
in the series. But no, Fortune, it's an anti-boss fight. It's fun the first time because you get tricked into trying to win it, which you can't. But obviously we all know you can't win this fight. It's not quite an auto-scroller. You can speed this fight up by about 35 seconds as long as you do this strat that you'll see from Theory, and I'm sure you'll see from every runner today. It's one of the biggest, easiest time saves to get in this run. But you look to the right, you punch 3 times, and then you crouch. She'll destroy the forklift, and then we'll make her destroy the golden barrels on either side, and the lights, and some boxes at the front. And those are part of the conditions that the game has for this fight to end. So if those are done, when she gets to that part of the fight, those tasks are already completed, so the fight ends sooner. This was really scienced out as well. For a long time, it wasn't fully understood exactly what to do. So we were getting a variance of like 112 to 125 on this fight. And once we worked out the exact pieces, generally everyone finishes this fight in 111 or 112. If you don't do anything, it's about 140 to 155. So it's a huge, huge time save for doing not a lot, just standing in the right place.
I think allowing or adding the IL levels for boss fights on the boards helped a lot with optimizing this fight. Because I remember Tino was putting a lot of time into grinding this and getting the world record for just this fight, and he discovered quite a bit of this, if not the vast majority of the conditions for ending this fight as optimally as possible.
Yeah, I'd say quite a lot of like unique understandings of the different fights in this game has come specifically from having those boss ILs. The Olga fight having so many complicated strategies now came from that as well. Even just being able to speed up the Solidus fight, like learning about like the fast finish in the second phase by baiting the kick rather than letting him come towards you, or like BMN strat where he just lets Solidus come and then moves around him. Things like that just came from the ILs.
Now, both Theory and JMC are beelining straight for one of the best boss fights, I'd say, in this game. At least one of my favorites, Fat Man, which again has evolved a lot from the 1974 strats that I still stick to. I'm not sure if either of these guys will do a non-lethal strat. Is that still the fastest?
Oh, no, I'm pretty sure one of them will at least. Another thing that came from those ILs, Ed Boy's fast setup for knocking Fat Man down to instantly set up for the M9 strat. So the non-lethal strat can one cycle Fat Man. That means once you knock him down, you can kill him the first time you knock him down. Whereas lethal is always a 2 cycle, so you have to knock him down twice. So M9 is the fastest way to do this fight. The other thing that speeds up the fight tremendously is that all the bombs during this fight you can get a fast defuse on. A normal defuse when spraying a bomb with a coolant is 2.5 seconds, but if you are in the right position, you can spray the bomb and defuse it in 1.5 seconds. So you'll see Theory 1.5 second defuse on that heliport bomb there. I think both of these guys. Yeah, this is Ed Boy's setup here. Oh, he misses it.
Oh,
he misses
no.
the knockdown. He's going to have to revert to a lethal strategy, so he's going to headshot Fat Man, defuse the bomb, if he remembers, then go back for the headshot. Looks like both lethal here. You need to get close to him. He's going to run west. Theory has lost Fat Man. Oh, he just caught him.
Nice save for Theory. JMC, you got a little away from him, but not too bad. JMC's doing the most recent strat that I did with that catching him as he comes out, but still doing a lethal strat. Theory, if he hadn't missed that kick, could have been quite the thing, but he allowed JMC to catch up.
Yeah, that was a really nice recovery, though, catching him just on the west, because if you shoot too early there, Fat Man will still have iframes, and you will waste your bullets, and you end up with a situation where you haven't knocked him down, then you need to reload your gun, and then he's just going to skate all over the place. He doesn't show... you can't hear him, like you just hear the sound of skating, but it's not like directional. You can't tell where he is, so you can end up losing a ton of time to Fat Man. So I think that was a good recovery. JMC had an excellent Fat Man fight, and they're like neck and neck now.
Yep. Mockingjay is on her way up, and Solid SOCOM is just finishing his fortune fight.
Yeah, I think he missed that setup at the start, so he's going to have a very slow fortune fight. As I say, he's not going to get that time save. It's just the auto scroller fight. You're going to be waiting for that final codec to be coming in. You can die on very easy to fortune. I've seen players do it. I've done it myself. So you have to be careful. I think she kills you in 4 hits or 5 hits. Mockingjay gets the fast defuse on the heliport bomb. She'll have to fight Fat Man now. And she'll do the strat where you defuse this bomb, then knock him down. Stay really close to him, so you get 2 shots and then you stay as close as possible to him. That's bad RNG when he goes west like this. The worst RNG you can get.
Yes. This is very unfortunate.
She waited for him to move, and then he didn't, and then as soon as she moved, he moved. That's how it goes sometimes.
Yep.
Alright, let's see the B2 computer room from both Theory and JMC. I wonder if they'll use the Claymore strategy. So you plant a Claymore on the ground inside the elevator, and then you shoot it with a gun, which causes an alert. All this effort we go to here is to keep that elevator door open. So we're in a disguise here. As long as we're in evasion, the guards won't notice us. But if you're in alert, your disguise is useless. So they're just going into this room to get the D-mic, and all of this knocking out guards and keeping the alert is 1 to skip the mini cutscenes and 2 to keep the elevator door open. This strat is faster, unless you did the old strat and got a fast elevator, which is a very low amount of RNG. Oh, yes. JMC messes up there. He rightly went to the east side because he knew if he tried to go up those stairs still in alert, he would get seen. His disguise wouldn't work, but he'll lose a bit of time. Theory did it perfectly. So it's just minute stuff.
Great awareness from JMC for that backup.
Oh, Theory flipped the guard.
Anytime that I've messed up this room that Theory's in right now, it has caused me ridiculous time loss.
This is like watching Tino back in the day. Tino would do things like this with this room. Oh no, he tried to grab him.
No.
Punch first. You have to punch first. This is giving JMC like so much time. I bet he's screaming at his screen right now. JMC gets a really good aims. His location is random. Theory has finally got the guard and he'll put him on the retinal scanner, but what a time loss. That's like unbelievable amount of time loss. But sorry for the shout out, by the way, Tino, but I have seen you do that before.
I've also, I'm sure in a race environment, gotten to the point where I was just laying on the ground trying to get shot and killed because I didn't know what else to do in that room. The best of us, and I am definitely one of the best of us, have problems in that room.
It just gets out of hand, right? Because the alert, I don't know what it is, because you're in a race situation, the alert's kind of scary. It's like freaking you out.
Absolutely. It's easy to panic. Because like you said, one punch and then a grab and that he would have been basically good to go. JMC now with a significant lead. Heading for PSG1, I believe.
JMC is a great racer. He's prone to panicking about things like, you know, his controller. He's like, oh god, my controller, I won't be able to play now. And he can get down on himself, but he's played so fantastically up to this point to be leading. But you really do see that difference, that the amount of time that Fury lost there. It must have been about 20-25 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, it was large, definitely.
Mockaday removing the BDU when grabbing that guard. That does actually save time because the cutscene renders faster, which doesn't count as a loading screen, that time that it takes to render. So if you take the BDU off in certain places, you can save time. Solid SOCOM having an absolute mare with the bridge here. This is why we recommend the strat where you touch that left pole and then you press down left on the D-pad and you'll never hit the claymores.
I remember the debate over whether or not to use D-pad for that section and just accept the little bonk into the corner, or to more or less YOLO it with an analog stick and feel proud of yourself. I was an analog stick I guess proponent until I came to my senses, and D-pad forever on that particular space.
It was a nice backup to use the chaff grenade. The other thing is you can shoot all the ciphers, but the worst thing you can do is get the alert and then try and make it across the bridge with all the ciphers firing at you. You're gonna die. JMC in the hardest section of the run now. He's just shot out the sensors and about to fight the Harrier. He will go for a 5+1 Harrier. Very, very difficult to perform, especially in a race, but essentially he'll hit the Harrier 5 times after picking up the Stinger. He's missed the Stinger. He's going to have to go for a backup. Hit it twice, 2.5. It's got to be. Yep, he goes for exactly that straight away. Great awareness by JMC. He knew he wouldn't have time to get all 5 shots. If you miss picking up the Stinger like that, you cannot hit it. 5+1 is impossible. So what we're doing is trying to keep the Harrier in phase 1 for as long as possible. When the Harrier flies overhead, if you time your shot correctly, you can actually deal double damage to it. But he's setting up for die shots here. Even if that shot misses or not, it doesn't matter. He needs 2 shots here. As long as he gets these cutscene shots correctly, skip the cutscene at the right time, this should kill the Harrier, right? Great backup.
Very nice.
Excellent player. That's exactly how it's done.
Theory coming in, doing his 4 shots. Does he get his 5th?
I think so. No, he re-equipped the Stinger too quickly.
Right.
You can't, after you've fired your 5th shot, you cannot re-equip the Stinger until that shot hits. Failing a 5+1, the difference between a 5 shot and a 5+1 is 11 seconds, so it's absolutely brutal.
Yes. Definitely not what he wanted to have happen after that, just before aims.
Yeah, he needs 3 shots on the Harrier now, so he'll get 2 as it approaches him, and then he'll hide for the Harrier's missiles, and he'll hit it on the other side. Very nice, very nice. Oh, he wasn't quite behind the post. This is giving JMC even more, but JMC earns every bit of time save after that backup. Missile phase. You never want to see the missile phase.
Not in
Theory's
there
out as well.
for sure, yeah.
It's given lots of opportunity to Mockingjay to catch up now. She's at her sensors. Sensors notoriously difficult. If you hit the cipher anywhere but the actual box, you will blow up the bridge. Panics, nearly gets a Seagull. A Seagull does actually fly past if you shoot it late. Sometimes you can hit the Seagull. Better than hitting the cipher though.
Absolutely.
Nice and calm for the rest of them. I believe she'll do a 2+5 Harrier as well, which is what we saw JMC do as a masterpiece as a backup. Slightly slower than a 5+1, but easier to perform.
And again, in a race environment, sometimes, often, that's the smart decision to make. If you're running against somebody who's got godlike execution and consistency, like a D-Limes or an Apache Smash, maybe you want to go for the fastest strats, but...
I believe she got the overhead double damage shot as well. Yeah, I think she did.
Pretty good.
As long as she gets these cutscene die shots, it's a nice 2.5. I think that was too early on the cutscene skip. So she will have to do the overhead shots, but this can still come out faster than Theory's overall. Oh, Kasatka's in the way.
Oh no.
It's so unfortunate when that's just RNG, whether that shot will hit or not.
Right.
It most likely will. Missile phase as well. Same as Theory's. It's unfortunate. There was a chance to pick up some time on him there.
JMC coming up now on the Nikita section. It's the only remote control missile section in the game. He's gonna try not to kill the president. I believe in him.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
Wow, it was very nice navigation through there. I haven't seen it that fast, honestly.
Yeah, all straight lines. That's like a
Very nice.
a save state grind or something. Nikita IL.
Yeah. Do you think any of these people are going to go for swim glitch?
Yeah, I know Theory will. Theory's like crazy good at swim glitch. Probably one of the best. JMC with his Xbox pad may elect to skip it. And I think Mockingjay and Solid SOCOM will not go for swim glitch, but you know, people have surprised me before, so who knows.
I took these photos.
God, you know, no matter how much I run this game, I never got over shooting the sensor on top of the Cypher. I've never felt comfortable with it. A little bit more of a shaky Nikita from Theory in the bottom left, but he just kind of wobbled it at the start. That whole section from the sensors to Harrier to getting into Shell 2 is just a very intimidating section of the run. Yeah, late on his 4th shot for solid SOCOM, so he will get a 3-shot Harrier. That pushes the Harrier into the 2nd phase. So the whole point of when you see people hit it twice is to keep it in the 1st phase. It allows you more shots. And we see JMC still going for that swim glitch, even with his new controller. He needs to get a little bit more height, and he's out. Oh, he's going for the backup. See, JMC was the first person to ever show me this backup, that you can get through that wall as long as you have enough height. It's a good 3 cycle considering he's changed controller very recently. I think that's respectable, and to go for it in a race environment as well, so every credit to JMC. Really, really well done there. And through Vamp as well. He's getting a nice lead.
Great race knowledge today, JMC.
Yeah, he's just been outstanding to watch with his like backups. I've enjoyed every moment of watching him today. Theory as well, like I can't imagine Theory not going for the swim glitch. A cleaner swim glitch than JMC would give him some time. So JMC's was a 3 cycle, which is on the cusp of like you have to get it on the 3rd cycle. But look at that.
Beautiful from Theory. Wow.
He just like that is so hard to do. I can't explain to you.
Like butter.
Well done. Oh, is he surfaced? Oh, I thought he surfaced too early, but he actually surfaced at the earliest possible point.
SOCOM taking a continue while Theory just absolutely eviscerates Vamp. Oh, I think he missed the leap of faith.
It happens.
Yep.
You have to be right on the edge before you cartwheel. Otherwise, you're going in the drink.
So Theory's saving a bit of time on JMC there.
Yeah, that's about as fast as you can do it. I don't think it can be done faster than that.
I don't think so. No, that's textbook swim glitch right there. In a race environment is especially impressive.
Since I was ripping on Tino before, Tino was very much the first person I ever saw who was like good at getting a 1 cycle swim glitch. So yeah, I think we're even on ripping and complimenting Tino now. I think one thing you know about this category is like almost every runner kind of knows each other and knows each other's styles and strengths.
Well, Tino also not only had impeccable swim glitches, but he insisted on doing them with an analog stick for at least a long time. I'm assuming he still does, which is unheard of for a lot of runners.
Yeah, not recommended, because if you press up, it's done.
Yeah.
Like, even if you touch it for a second, it's done. But the caveat of swim glitch is that you have to open the door on the way back with Emma. So we'll see JMC and Theory do that in a sec as well. And we'll get
Emma
to see what...
section used to... It's easy to think that you're pretty much smooth sailing, but since you move so slowly, your lines are incredibly important.
There is a new strat where you can push Emma out of bounds and make her spawn further into the room. It was found by Chelsea. It's called the Chelsea Bump or Emma Zip. I know Theory has done it in races before. There's 2 of them. The second one saves more time, but it's way harder. But we'll see if JMC is going for it now. If he picks Emma up or he grabs Emma here, yes, he's going for it. This is it. He's going to try and knock Emma out of bounds.
There we go. Wow, there it is.
So now
I just don't understand.
It's a race to get to the other side of the room now and leave. So he'll exit the room and re-enter, and Emma will spawn very close to the door. So you don't have to like drag her around and bring her here. It's just faster to perform it this way. it's kind of a thing now because Theory kind of has to go for it now, right?
Right.
JMC's got it second try, which is still saving time. There is, as I say, another one you can do in the next room, but it's much harder from what I understand, and fewer runners will go for it. And Theory with a completely different setup to what we saw JMC do. Oh, first try no, second try no. He's going to be walking her. Yeah, he's going to be walking her. I think he'll lose a bit.
Significant, yeah.
He'll lose a bit more time because he'll have to trank this guard now. Normally we can sneak past him. JMC, putting on a masterclass today.
Absolutely. I'm curious. I'm legitimately curious to see what his time's going to be at the end of this run if he keeps this pace up, because it's got to be 103. This is great. This is fantastic.
To make that mistake at Harrier and then not even lose time, or maybe a second or so, but
right.
I can't think what mistakes he's made. I'm going through his run backwards, like mentally in my head, and I can't really think of any mistakes he's made.
Me neither. And I may just have forgotten, but yeah, off the top of my head, it seems like it's been, with his backups anyway, a very, very well executed run.
Ow.
It's not making it easy on Theory, that's for sure. Well, there's a little hiccup there.
I wonder what will happen to the run when once we see that second bump have a perfect setup found, and you'll have to go for that every time. I mean, it's like when 5+1 Harrier was first discovered, and everyone was kind of like, yeah, that's never going to happen in runs. Now literally everyone does it.
Yeah.
It's going to happen at some point soon.
Pretty late in the run too to have a potential run killer, but that's speedrunning.
Just never stops people, does it? It doesn't matter. We don't make the game, we just play it.
So we're coming into, well, JMC is deep into the sniping section at this point. On very easy, it's quite easy, which I guess, it's an apt name for it.
It just means you even more can't make a mistake because your opponent's just less likely to. Emma getting seen by the guards. The ciphers and guards spawn in the same place every time. So the guards on each strut spawn when Emma gets about halfway down. Stand in the same spot, don't zoom the scope. An Emma full costs 8 or 9 seconds. It's a huge time loss. So you absolutely must do this right. Otherwise your opponent is most likely getting time on you.
Yeah. Sol SOCOM is on his way into the vamp fight, it looks like. And Mockingjay on her way back with Emma on her back. Mockingjay with a significant lead on SOCOM at this point. JMC gets his rest, his mid-run rest. It's nice to have when you're just playing casually. This is actually, I don't know about you, but this is when I can actually take a bathroom break.
Yeah, this is the spot where I tend to psych myself out if my run's going well. I just sit and stare at my splits the entire time.
Too much time to sit and think, yeah.
Yeah.
I come out of sniping almost forgetting how to play the game. I know there's a strat coming up the stairs or after the stairs where I just want to switch my weapons, and I almost feel like I'm going to mess it up because I haven't actually moved my character in the last several minutes.
Mockingjay is trying to get the Emma zip.
And she gets it.
She gets it. It's a couple of tries. She's going to refresh the room using the elevator rather than just running to the other side now. I wonder if that's because the guards will be kind of in weird places.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea.
But that will work the same as well as going out the door on the other side. So good decision there. I love that guard. If you're walking with Emma, you can get round him, and if you're walking without Emma, you can get round him as well. Like his cycle works perfectly for being completely ran past.
I like how reminiscent this is of the old teleportation strat, where we all thought it was faster to to have her just warp to inside the room where the president was, but
It's
this
funny
one
that's
actually does save time.
that's happened in a few cases though, where Tyler's just like completely been on the right path, but he didn't get the full time save, but he worked out what the strategy would be later. So this is reminiscent of teleportation, and it's just like him working out what is now the swim glitch in Metal Gear Solid 1. Like he figured out the pieces a long time ago. It just took someone else putting them together.
Right.
So yeah, if Tyler's got an idea, better listen to him.
He's generally onto something.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen people take breaks in all kinds of ways at the oil fence. I once saw JMC call Snake at the start and then just put his scope on and walk away from his computer. It's a small time loss, but if you need the break, you need the break.
Yep. Yeah, I tend to forget that Snake will just take care of it for you. So JMC is coming close to the end of his sniping, which will lead into a tremendously long boss fight.
Oh no, Mockajay's got the guard instead of Emma.
Oh no.
Imagine you took the guard with you instead and the cutscene started. You just show us the ladder and then the guard falling down.
Yeah.
Solid SOCOM doing the bump as well.
Trying, yeah.
Everyone is doing this. I don't know how to. I've never done this. I have
Me
no
neither.
idea how to do this. You damn kids with your Emma zips.
The new normal. Having trouble, but he's going for it. In the meanwhile, JMC is about to have his Vamp boss fight, Vamp 2, which with Turbo has been made much faster. Oh, not the fastest Vamp 2, but it does the trick.
I think it's just the easiest way where you just leave your gun for a second and then fire.
Right.
You can even do that in Euro if you're doing a lethal vamp.
So SOCOM bailed on his Emma Zip. JMC is on the way to the core for the final stretch of the video game. Theory is waiting for his chance to take out Vamp for the second time.
Yeah, JMC hitting the section of the single most costly continue in the entire run. If you get game over here, you lose about a minute. Any time left section, if you die, you're always put right back to the start of it. But no messing.
Nope.
It's important to have a ton of AK ammo.
That's what's always quite made me wonder why some people will use the AK in the sniping section for certain ciphers. Just it always seemed risky to me. I'll use my PSG-1. They give you infinite ammo for that.
True. I think if you get 2 packs at Vamp and the pack on the way to Strut 2, you have like,
It's been a while,
like 45,
it?
something crazy
Jack
like
the
that. No, it's 30
Ripper.
per pack in it, so a crazy amount of ammo anyway. So, and if you're shooting with turbo, it only takes 1 AK bullet
You
to
remember
destroy
me,
the
don't
ciphers.
you? You've grown.
Interesting. Okay.
High concentration of cerebral.
Nice movement from Fury. I don't like to
Have they
go
altered
that
your
that
mem-
close around
Me
that
too.
corner to shoot the cipher. It's very easy to miss the first one, and you can't cross that bridge with an alert.
JMC's cleared the first torture sequence, which is actually, if you haven't played this game, you literally don't have to press a single button and you will pass that. Just a tease.
Yeah, it's just to trick you. Can you imagine this game tricking you? You certainly do have to press triangle in the second torture, though.
100%. Yep. A bit of downtime in the latter half of this game. that initial little torture sequence there. JMC now running into Jejunum, I believe is how you pronounce that.
Yeah, what you'll do is you hold select as you enter this room, gives you the codec straight away. That allows you to run past this first Tengu guard. If you don't buffer that input, you can't actually get past him, he'll see you. You don't want to get an alert in the Jejunum because you'll just have every guard shooting you. The biggest problem is that it will stutter you. And you can die in here. Trying to get through the full room with an alert, you can die.
Absolutely.
It's important. Going over the legendary gap, I actually lost a race to Mac McD by failing to get over that gap.
Yeah, that race was very tight until that exact point.
But yeah, Jamesie's out. He's going to be feeling good about being out of the Jejunum. Couple more challenges left.
One of the last pieces of RNG in the run is in the Tango 2 section, where the guards come out at varying rates. Are we just spamming Stinger with turbo now? Is that the strat, or do we try to time it like I do?
People do different things. I think there's a mix of people just turbo firing it. Or pacing it out. But I think just the most important thing is to stand in the right spot.
Right.
If you're kind of if you're in the wrong spot, you just won't hit the guards as consistently.
So in this section here with JMC, he actually, once you get this blade, there is a waiting period, but you need to swipe at least once, or the timer literally doesn't even start. We have a nice little utility for live split that'll actually show you that timer in the corner, and if you don't swipe, it just sits at 0. Theory in the corners, turboing pause. I'm not quite sure what that does, if anything. But in his section there, there's 6 codecs that you need to answer, or the game will progress. And he's just hit the last one. JMC is done with his wait, so he's going to move into Tengu 1, as we call it, which is really a beeline for the end. You want to make it to the end of this hallway as quick as you can without getting stunned by too many shots. And then we're going to do a lean against the door and a punch kick in first person. And you're going to release the first person view as you're facing the door, which is going to basically trick the game into thinking your hitbox is on the other side of it. And through you go, just like that. Beautiful Tengu 1 from JMC. Oh no, Solid SOCOM is memeing with the dynamic mic. If he listens to any of the conversations that happen behind the pillars, it's actually going to lose him a significant amount of time. Hopefully he's just listening to Emma and as she walks, and he's not going to do those Easter egg conversations, because that will add a lot of time. I don't even know off the top of my head, but that interaction with Johnny behind the pillar he's looking at now takes quite some time.
It's going to be like 2 minutes or something. It's yeah, you don't want to do that during a race.
No.
Tengu 1 has changed.
Placing his shots, which I like to see personally.
Yeah, the inner square of the Stinger, you want to wait until the box of the enemy enters that inner square and then fire. That's how I like to time it out. It feels pretty consistent.
It came as a complete surprise when Ocelot discovered the S3
JMC through Tengu 2, so he gets another unskippable speech before the infamous Raze fight.
The incredibly long, grueling Raze fight.
Absolutely.
Again, it's one of those, it's the same speed for everyone, so mistakes are absolutely compounded. If you get stomped on by the Ray on stage, don't move correctly, miss any of the headshots, you can lose time. And there is a ridiculously fast Ray fight you can go for, where you hit the middle one, then the right one in the head, and then get leg head before the third one jumps on stage. Saves a second, but the execution is like 10 times harder.
But I've made use of you. And their plan to
This Tengu 2 setup that Theory is doing now was found by Beswick, who is a legendary VE player. He came in, no one knew who he was, and he was just instantly one of the best players and found a ton of really cool optimizations for strats.
Yeah, that was a wild era for MGS2. Very easy when Bestwick just showed up and started blowing everyone's minds.
Yeah, he was so good that people just thought it was someone else playing on a different account
Yeah.
until he kind of like joined the VoIP and was like, no, I'm actually my own person.
I'm a real guy. I'm a real person.
Yeah, he's just one of the few VE players who's ever had to like prove doubters about his identity. Wild times for the game.
Yeah. Yep, D-Lime's a huge fan.
Textbook Ray for JMC.
It's JMC would have to have a pretty nasty Solidus fight at this point to not put this in the bag. But again, we have seen gaps in the video feed get closed by IGT in the past, so.
Absolutely. I think Theory is relying on a mistake, and Solidus, notorious for, knocking people down, taking some time. You can get bad RNG with the fight. There's things that can go wrong for sure, but
absolutely,
I'd be comfortable if I was JMC.
It's not him I want the answers from.
Mockingjay is about to get her sword before heading into Tengu 1. Theory's done his raise. No, wait. Yes. Yes, he's done his raise.
That's some dead raise right there.
JMC coming up to close this run. It's a fight against Doctor Octopus. I'm curious to see what strat he uses because, again, I have not been keeping up on these various ways to dodge his attacks and counter them. First phase, pretty, basic.
Yeah, the trick is to be at the correct range away from Solidus to bait rockets, and then knock him down, and then move to the correct range. Between phase 1 and 2, you want to make him do the short dash. JMC was going for it, but he didn't get far enough away from Solidus, so he did a long dash. Small time save if you get him to do the short dash. Phase 2, same again. Block him, hope for the people's elbow, or move from his attack. And then when you knock him down the first time, you can bait him into kicking you, if you time it perfectly. Oh, he's doing the BMN move strat. That normalizes the RNG because it doesn't matter what attack Solidus does to you. Oh, he went for the repel and failed, so he gets a knockdown, but this should be fine. Time for JMC.
Very nice run for JMC. Sincerely curious, genuinely curious to see what his actual IGT is there.
Yeah, that was world class from JMC.
Absolutely. Theory is just coming up on the second phase of the fight himself, so not far behind. I don't know if it'll be enough to make up for it in IGT. But I've seen crazier things. I don't know if I've seen this big of a gap get closed, but
while a 56 is unlikely to be world record in the IGT, it is a phenomenally hard time to get, especially under race conditions.
Absolutely.
And every credit considering he was having controller issues before the race.
And he ran into a couple of situations where his initial strats didn't pan out and his backups were just on the money.
Yeah, knowledge of the game was insane.
Theory with a 56 RTA.
Not a bad idea though.
So if my math is good, that's what, 43 seconds behind?
I'll go with you.
S3 stands for Solid Snake Simulation.
GG to Theory and JMC. Mockingjay is just waiting for her ability or her chance to take on the Rays.
Yeah, she did pause for a little bit as well. I think maybe a controller issue or something she had to repair. So she was paused for a little while. So she would actually be closer to these guys if not for that issue. But the IGT will still be the same because if you pause, it pauses the in-game timer as well.
Correct. Yep.
We do allow pauses on the board as long as it's not egregious and you runs 10 hours or something like that. If something happens, it's absolutely fine to pause. There are some, I don't know, what does Plywood call them? Pause scumming strats. You can like go into first person and pause and spot aims to lose no time, things like that. We've seen people do those in races as well, but very gentlemanly today, nothing like that today.
You ran from it, and now you've been
Which
led
you love
back
to see.
war by something less than real.
Our Mockingjay has been led back to war by something less than real, and she's going to take out 3 Rays, ideally within, what is it, 4 or 5 seconds?
Something like that. She didn't lock onto the second head, so she will just need to...
Do this the old-fashioned way.
Yeah. Dodge these rockets and not get knocked down. Let this guy jump on stage.
Are you awake yet, Jack?
Good backup, not bad.
Yeah, another thing she did there was held the menu at the start of the fight. If you can't time your quick change, then a good strat to do for Rays to get those headshots at the start is to just buffer the menu and menu while the game is paused, essentially. It's a little bit slower, but much, much safer.
My son.
Solid SOCOM, first time on that Tengu 1 door glitch as well. It's nice to see because he did have a little bit of an issue with it in his normal run yesterday. Always good to get that first time.
Absolutely. Mockingjay looks like she's manually doing torture despite having turbo options.
Yeah, I believe she didn't use torture at all. Doesn't like turning it on and off. It does
Oh,
take
the
a while
turbo,
to get
okay.
used to. It's not too bad on very easy, but European Extreme Torture, like just take the turbo option.
100%.
Me and you both are like wrist issues central, so we're like, yep, turbo, get that on.
Yeah, that was an easy vote for me.
I don't think either of us would play this game anymore if it wasn't for the legalization of torture.
No,
Torture, not
absolutely.
legalization of torture. That is
I
not
wouldn't have
legal.
Don't legalize torture. No, yeah, without turbo, I wouldn't have even been a decision of whether or not I could run this anymore. The decision would have been made for me. Mockingjay coming in with the final fight of the game. Just gonna show Solidus what for. There's those rockets.
Yeah, if you stand too close to Solidus, he will just dash away, and then he can do one of his many attacks, and he has a ton of different attacks.
Gets the short dash.
Yeah, that's like the shortest dash. He was already there, basically. It's like one piece of fire on the ground. That's unfortunate RNG when he does the 3 attacks, and he pushes you so much back with the last one that he can sometimes knock you off the edge as well. You'll always grab on, but you'll kind of be messed up on his cycle for that.
Gets caught in the last slash dash there, but finishes him off. GG Mockingjay.
We'll see solid SOCOM. Yeah, I think that would have been a sub-hour run. I'm sure the pause was like 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay. I missed that, actually. I was glued to JMC and Theory and watching them go back and forth.
Split between life and death. You ran from it, and now you've been led back to war by something less than real.
Now, Solid SOCOM coming up on Rays. Let's see if he's able to secure the quick finish.
He's got to move. Yeah, he's getting kicked. If you have to move from that center spot. the Ray will always jump on stage like that.
Yeah.
But it cleans it up.
Yep, not too bad.
You awake yet, Jack?
Hits the save box.
Save boss.
Oh, no.
The Arsenal
That's the
AI
hidden boss in this game, the save
Yeah.
boss. Welcome, JMC. Good to see you, mate.
How's it going, boys? How's it going?
What were you worried about? It was absolutely fine, that controller, mate.
That was-
We didn't see
yeah, that
any
was
issues
insane.
there.
Oh
Yeah,
man,
he's
it's
smashed
just a lot of stuff, man. Like you need to think about everything that you're doing, every wee bit of movement. Like the stick just feels like totally off. That's why, like, see when I got to Harrier, I tried to run towards the box, and it was like, "Where are you going, man?"
Incredible
I had to-
backup though, like the perfect 2.2+5 backup. We like said it in real time with you. Like he's missed the stinger. He can't do 5+1 anymore. He has to do the 2.5, and then you just did it perfectly.
Yep. Yep.
Aye, but it's a good thing to have in the back pocket, man.
Yeah, it paid dividends there, mate. Like you were just gaining a lead. You know, Fury had some issues on the Harrier there. Saw the dreaded missile phase.
My missiles did not connect on that. I missed the fifth shot because it didn't connect. It went over. It was on type point. I think I quit this stinger too early to turn, and it just blew up just before. And then the +1 did the same thing. I think I just unequipped slightly too early, and it just blew up early.
You got
You
your
hate to see it, man.
you got your 1 cycle swim glitch that you're known for, though. We were saying like we don't
Do you
think
know
it
what?
can be done faster than that.
I was worried about that the most because I switched to 1.7 movement. That glitch is actually free on 1.8. Even JMC can attest to it, having tried it. Like, it is actually 1.8 for that glitch alone is way better than 1.7.
Yeah, I think it's got something to do with the movement in the water. The water movement on 1.8, right? It seems
the
as
stick
if
is just much better for it.
it seems as if you put an input in and it gives you half an input. So when you get to the wall, it's like really, really handy. Whereas
it's-
on 1.7, it's crazy stuff, man.
I think it's just a testament to how big of like V grinder nerds you two are when like you come in after winning a race and start talking about 1.7 and 1.8 movement of V's fix.
Yeah.
I'm actually so proud of you nerds.
100%.
GG Solid SOCOM as well.
Yep.
Finishing up
GG, mate.
Solidus.
GG's.
Welcome
Just to
Mockingjay
clarify
as well.
for anybody in the audience who doesn't know what these nerds are talking about, there's a fix that's applied to the PC version of this game called V's Fix. Makes it much more accessible and just generally more stable and all around a better game. And there's a difference between 1.7 version of V's Fix and 1.8 version in the way the movement feels. 1.8 is like a little bit more responsive. So yeah, some people prefer one over the other, but it sounds like these guys prefer 1.8 for the water. So JMC's time is a 103.21. Hell of a time for a race.
Not too shabby, man. Not
No.
too shabby.
No joke to get that in a race. Absolutely insane, mate.
I'm really, really happy with it, man. I was dreading doing a run with this controller, mate. Like, dreading it. But I get into it and I kind of get used to the movement as I was going, aye.
Well, you nailed it. You worked with it.
My tanker was just an absolute mess.
It happens. It
Oh
happens.
man. Oh Jesus.
Where did you get was it like a continue or was it?
So I went down just the ladder like normal. Like I wasn't even gonna try and do the glitch. I shot the guard early. I was like really like so cautious. And then that second guard that you can roll into or you can shoot. I went to shoot him and it didn't shoot him. And so I got to continue. So I had to do it all again. Then I realised my SOCOM was on, not my USP, my UPM. And I was like, I can't shoot because I'll get to continue. How do I get out of this gun? Because I already had my finger on the trigger.
Yeah, you had to let go of first person and then you can open the menu.
Oh,
but what you
right,
did was like you held in the thumbstick so you could shoot it. That was a good.
I don't know. I was just like, get me out of here. Like,
That's heartbreaking, man.
yeah. Oh man. And then my Harrier went wrong, and then oh god. Yeah, there was just a few moments that was just like not good, but it's okay. You know, it's not the end of the world.
I don't think I have enough fingers to count my mess ups.
Did you have a rough one, mate? Aye.
ladder glitch, I took a continue because I just messed it up. 2 photo didn't go well. I missed one of the photos. For some reason, I had a mind block and I went to strut E when I was supposed to be going to strut D for the PSG1 stuff. So
I've done that. I've done that.
I was just like, why am I going up here? What am I doing?
Like when you miss that photo, though, I even remember saying that I'm always terrified of missing a photo because I never know which one it is that I missed. I'm mashing through so fast, but you went back and you picked up the one that you got. Like it was.
Yeah, I was playing guesswork because I was like, this might be the right one, but it might not be.
Oh, it worked out for you.
But no, I had fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Leap of faith annoyed me. I was like,
Did you die at Leap of Faith as well?
yeah, like
Oh no.
I didn't roll
Yeah.
or cartwheel in time, so I just fell off the edge straight away.
Yeah, I've been there.
We've
I
all
can't
been
believe-
there.
Yeah.
I missed the fat man as well. Like literally by an
Oh,
inch.
yeah, I
Frames,
had a
yeah.
bad fat man as
Literally an
well.
inch
He
off
went
of where I
left.
set him up.
Oh.
Otherwise, I
We're-
would have had non-lethal, and it would have put me. It would have given me a bigger lead going into losing all that time at B1.
Yeah, you were ahead until that. You just missed that kick, and then JMC was like seconds ahead of you.
I've done that before, and it's super rare. But I was just too far to the side, and then I wanted to adjust, but it was too late. The guard was coming, so I was like, I'm just going to stand here and hope.
Yeah.
And then I was too far, and then I went to grab him, and I just whiffed it.
Oh, no.
And then I just struggled to punch him and grab. Like all I wanted to do was just hit the guy and grab him in a choke, and it just wouldn't let me connect the punch. So I just kept getting kicked.
Yeah, I got kicked a couple of times in a tanker as well.
It is what it is. It's a race. We make do with what
Exactly.
we got. We try and bring it back. 104.32. I mean, can't complain.
104.32 is a bananas time pretty much at any point in running this game, really.
Yeah,
So-
GG, mate.
Yeah.
There's
I'm happy.
there's nothing to be ashamed of that, even if it wasn't in a race setting.
No, not at all. 104 is a good time.
Mockingjay is getting close to seeing her IGT here.
It's truly wonderful to see so many people enjoying a four-way race of this game. We now have like 82 people with runs for this category on the board. So if anyone did want to come and learn it, it's easy to pick up, but the skill ceiling is extremely high. There's a lot to enjoy in this run, and DLimes13 did make a full guide for it, which is on the Metal Gear Speedrunners wiki. So yeah, it's a cool run.
Yeah, I
Is it
can't
great?
recommend this run enough. It's of the games that I started speedrunning, this is the one, obviously, that I got really sucked into, at least to the point of actually setting world records. And between the minimal amount of RNG, the execution, the movement feels great in this game. Like it does not feel like a 20-year-old game to play. I recommend anybody who wants to get into speedrunning or who already speedruns but hasn't touched this, try Metal Gear Solid 2. Very easy. It's a fantastic run.
Got a 108
I
day,
agree
by
with
the
that.
way.
Especially because the PC version runs on anything. Like even if you think your laptop cannot handle it, it really does. Like many of us can account for that.
This game runs on a potato for sure.
I'm pretty sure JMC's got one of them Windows 98 like beige computers, and he's running it, so don't worry about it.
You want
Mate,
today?
See, right at the moment, I'm sitting on a HP EliteBook 2570p, so you can Google that, right? It is absolute shite, but it runs the game. It works. So anybody can play this, man. Definitely join in. Look at the guide, learn it. It's brilliant.
Yeah, the guide's actually really good. There's literally probably one thing that's changed, one or two things that have changed since the guide was put out, but everything else in the guide is still the same thing that we do in the run. So, and there's
And
all
of
these
course-
fantastic runners here that will help you along the way.
Join the Discord. It's full of people who'd be happy to help you out with anything regarding this run. Most of them are pretty knowledgeable on this run specifically. So, and if you want to get help in setting the game up or whatever you need, We're all there for you.
Also, shout out to the comms. We got Apache Smash and the legend Mac McLean comms. The legend of MGS2.
We're always going to be hanging around waiting to commentate VE races.
That's
Like,
true.
we're always down.
And one more shout out, BMN.
Yes.
Fucking MVP. He's the man.
Yeah, BMN's
And the
made
record
a
holder.
bunch of very good tools for this game. You can see on Theory's screen there where it says Turbo, he's created a specific overlay tool that'll show when Turbo is activated or not. There's also a timer that you can display natively inside the game. Everything involved with live split. There's a trainer that helps you practice every boss fight, every room. It's his work in making this PC version of this game for speedrunning that much better is it's unmatched. BMN is MVP.
Also has the world record right now.
Yes, 101.39.
That's insane.
Yeah.
I don't understand. You guys are crazy.
learning this run and having fun with it, you can get going pretty quickly. Aiming for something like the world record in this category will be one of the biggest grinds of your life that you'll ever take on.
With that, I'm
Currently,
just now seeing Theory. GG's on bumping me by 1 second.
Yeah. I know, it was 1 second, but hey, I'll take it. Me and James are
Speaking of
pushing for the
time.
102.
Good luck for both of you. Speaking of time, we're coming up for Solid SOCOM's IGT as well. And then we certainly already have to cut it at this point. We're a little bit late on the schedule. So I hope everyone enjoyed, of course, this race, in particular MGS2 VE. We are doing this constantly on Discord. This is not just for events like this. Really can only recommend joining the Discord. If you want to learn along, everyone is here to teach you, to show up, and do little races also, on the go every time, basically. And they will at 1 hour 12:55. GG's to all the runners, of course, and thank you for the commentators for being here with us today. Any last words? Only one word for everyone. Go.
Happy 20th anniversary.
Thanks for having me. I had a great time. GG. everyone.
Learn the game. Learn the game. Please learn the game.
Follow me on Twitter at Apache Smash.
Thanks for having me, and the same as JMC. Learn it. You'll love it.
All right, then we go into intermission, and then next up we have Operation Winback by Joseph Joestar 316. Don't go anywhere. This game is a lot of fun.